Hey guys, Greg Jackson with Jamie as always. We're working on today a very important position in the mount. Now the mount is one of those positions that doesn't get a lot of love sometimes, in that you feel like you can get rocked off, or even if you get to the mount, they're so powerful they can explode out from underneath there. But remember, the mount is a great position, both in submission wrestling and in MMA. Having a great mount should just be one more tool in your toolbox. And what can really help out with that is your leg structure. So let's take a look here. I'm gonna hop into the mount with Jamie. And if you guys can take a look at my legs under his legs while I'm mounted, we're gonna get in this skydiving position, what I refer to as skydive. And then our body style is gonna be the walrus. If you guys wanna know more about the walrus, that's a funny name, go check out the ground and pound videos that we put out, and you can understand how we're going to structure our body a little bit. We're gonna jump on both of those points now with this leg lock. So I'm going to come underneath the mount, guys, and the number one thing that I want you guys to do to help control the mount is stay away from the grapevine. This thing here, it's okay, but it's hard to ground and pound from. So fine for jiu-jitsu, but for MMA instead, guys, if you can see my feet, you want to scissor them together like you're in the guard. Then you're going to take your hamstrings, guys, and pull your heels up into the butt. And again, this is why we call it the skydive position, is because you're doing an arch, just like if you jump out of an airplane and you're here. You're hitting this arch by driving your hips forward. And the next thing we want to do is make sure we keep our hands nice and wide up here, so that if he's bucking or turning, I can, wherever he needs to go, I can keep my hands kind of in front of me. But the real deal, guys, is getting your heels into the butt and arching up and keeping that posture. That entire posture there should be very hard for him to get out of. And you can really feel it, and you can stop him from doing what they want to do. And that's what we're going to do here with our first elbow strike. So again, if you want to learn the mechanics, guys, it's in those ground and pound videos, but you're doing a rising elbow, which means that you're taking one hand, putting it to your ribs, and then basically like you're combing your hair. Not much hair for me left, but I can pretend. Here, down to up. And what that does is a lot of times they're trying to tuck their head in here, and what that down to up elbow does is allow you to hit it just like you're basically pushing his face down and hitting with an elbow, but you don't need to push his face down anymore. So these elbows are very strong, especially as you hit him, it begins to basketball the head, and that's a very strong position. But what we're going to do is, most of the time when I lock up like this, the guy's going to come to the hip and try to start pushing down on my hip to try to push me into the guard. I'm going to grab one of those hands, guys, pull it up, and whichever hand I pull up, well, that's the elbow that's coming straight through. So if I choose to do this hand, I'm going to pull that hand up and come straight through. So that's usually our first line of defense, is we're going to get into the mount. We're going to skydive here with a nice lock. When he puts the hands on the hip, you're just going to take it off. Now, if you're doing jiu-jitsu, you can continue to attack that arm. If not, if it's MMA, guys, you slide that elbow right up the pipe. But as long as you're taking off one hand at a time, it's very hard for him to escape that in any way, and especially not before he takes some damage.